なんだ。うわ、やだ。なにこれ。
As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother.
待ってくれ。笛やらせるんじゃないだろうな。
One day, the box suddenly began to move.
また来ちゃったじゃん。おお、かっこいい。
This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
そうだね。どうすんの？マグニチュード 5.8？ こんなでかいか。
4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other.
なんなの？やっぱ段ボールの中がそういう世界になってるの？ファンタジーの。
Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious.
本当だよね。これ笛吹くとか言わない？大丈夫？あ、緑、かっこいい。ああ、なにこれ。おー、なにこれ。おー。はい。
The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box.
Oh.
The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
なるほどね。お、大丈夫か？ひょっとシールを貼る。ああ、今回シール貼る作業ないのね。大丈夫か？そっと拾う。少しずつ平らにする。シールを貼る。ああ。大丈夫か？確かにだな。数えきれないくらい出ちゃってるよ。
The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison.
わあ、すごい。
The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
ああ、来るじゃん、絶対。もう、やだよ、これ。はい。はい。あれ？今回ちょっと音揃ってる気がする。あ、今回音ちゃんと合ってる気がするな。音に。はい。はい、はい、はい。あ、同時来やがった。F とスペースなんて押しづらいだろうよ。あ、DSA も押しづらいんだって。押しづらいってやめてくれ。これはまだ押しやすい。 はい、はい。指がつりそうになっちゃう、これ。もうちょっと一個一個のキーボード離してくれたらまだ。やばい。もうわかんないって、これ。指が痛い、これ。ちょっと普通に今、よそ見。よそ見。ちょっと待って。一旦指を落ち着かせてほしい。頼むって。
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
来ちゃった。え？おお、ウサギだ。嘘。マジモン。うわー、すごい来てる。紙だ。手紙ってこと？
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
うわー、すごい。
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability.
そうなんだ。
Now, the giants have returned. They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever, and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
なるほど。やはり、段ボールの中が世界になってたんだね。
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box. Daniel still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again.
なるほど。でも、会えるみたいなこと言ってたけどね。
A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the penny whistle very, very well. But the paper dragons never returned.
バッグに入れる。何ですか？はい。こんなの入れていいのか？こんなの入れる意味あるか？はい。
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2!
うわ、やばい。
A massive earthquake is hitting our town.
6.2。
All townspeople, please leave your houses
これ
immediately
こ
and
の
move
ラ
to
ジ
safe
カセって
open
もしかした
spaces.
ら
Just
こっ
then,
ちの世界のこと言
countless
ってんのか
paper
な？
dragons shot from the cardboard box.
やば、燃えてるじゃん。
However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
What's happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
ほう。大丈夫かみんな。やべえ、すげえ量出てるよみんな、本当に。すげえ出てる。やばい。どんどん倒れてるけど。大丈夫かみんな。頑張れ。頑張れ。倒れてく。頑張れみんな。すげえ量。こんなドラゴンいたの？頑張れみんな。負けるな。やばい。いた。耐えて。戦ってくれ。なんだ？うわ、やだ。何これ？
But but the paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away,
やばいじゃ
subduing
ん。
him
普通
firmly
に。
in the corner.
下手するとやばいよ。どうすんの？助けてくれんの？
Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a
やばい、
violet
巨人が出てきてるじゃん、本当
flashed
に。
through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger, now with a magnitude of 7.1.
あ、やっぱりこの、
Heaven almighty, are we doomed?
このラジカセは違うんだな。ラジオは違うんだな。現実の話じゃないな。
The paper dragons struggled against it, with no means of fighting back.
なんてこった。
At this critical moment,
来た。
two paper dragons shined brilliantly.
また行くのか、お前たち。
Together, they heroically crashed their bodies into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still. The greatest disaster this town has seen in
なんてこった。
over 100 years. My heavens, will this nightmare ever end?
With the paper dragons now all
Oh.
but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance.
直した
It
子
was
だ。
Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his
嘘、ま
fingers,
さか。
as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what. Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
The huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
なるほど。紙片を拾う。破片を拾う。大丈夫かね。間に合う？あ、あった。あ、なるほど。ああ、なるほど。パズルじゃん。ここかな？そうなると。で、ここだろ。で、ここだろ。はい、OK。
Goodbye, my friend.
嘘だ。本当の気持
The
ち。
nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
A few days later, The art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
あ、まさかこれ。おい、もういいってやりたくないよ、あれは。
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
わー、絶対じゃん。てか、突然、絵じゃなくなった。本物になった。なるほど、もしかしたら、イラストの時はなんか別の、幻覚じゃないけど、SCP だから幻覚とかそういう話ではないんだろうな。さあ、この忌まわしきこれが来たぞ。はい。はい、やべえ、指が。はい。A, S, D, F, A, S, D あ、やべえ、D 押してる。ちょっとわかんなくなるんだよ。はい。やべえ、これ死ぬ。指が死ぬって。指が痛い。後ろに流れてる。なんか間違ってる俺。キーボード、いや、合ってたよね。単純にずれただけだ、タイミングが。指が痛いんだよ。普通に間違うときあるな。あら？みんな来た。これはどういう状況なんだろう。あ、星空。
And that's how the story ends.
はい、なるほど。
Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us
あら。
somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
SCP ちゃんとオブジェクトとして残されてるね。Here be Dragon。ほー。最後の最後まであの音楽は鳴れなかったが、なんとかまあ、クリアと。SCP-1762 と。へー、イケドラゴン。本当です。かっこよかったです。それであの子たちは今どこに？本当ですね。あの子どうなったんですか？ SCP-1762 は生物研究所。へー、ダニエル博士。ゲントさん、どうしてその情報を？セミナーに出てないと思ってました。ほうほうほう。すごい。そんなこと言ってさ、実は好きなんじゃねえの？照れちゃってさ。もうツンデレみたいだね、本当に。退屈ではないね。誰かが呼ぶような幻聴が聞こえる。新人症候群。ちょっと不安ですね。という感じかな？今のがラストってことでいいのかな？ちょっと見てみます？次が何やるか。ファイル見てみましょうか。またあれか。普通に、なんかいろいろとちょっとやっていかなきゃいけないのか。 まあ、というわけで、今回の動画といいますか、SCP 極秘ファイルは、これにて一度終了となります。また続きの方は、まあ、多分自分で個人的にどうだろうね、動画撮って個人的にやりますが、それが投稿されるのは、なんか数ヶ月後もしくはまあ投稿されないか、まあどちらかでしょうね。というわけで、また次回別の動画でお会いしましょう。SCP はこれにて終了。それでは皆さんまたね。